Okay, you men.
Be quiet.
They're right there. We know they're here.
It's a
Redress. Commission. Did you hear something?
Redress right
I
down.
hear you.
All right.
At redress
radio
right
silence.
now.
Everybody, be quiet.
Redress right down.
You're gonna
I know they're around here.
Redress right down.
quiet. They're right
Right,
Redress
get
right
me
down.
back up.
Redress right
I want to search this area.
Trouble.
Right here.
Redress right down. Redress right down.
I know you all hear that. Find them.
Find
Find them now.
Baby up.
The legal. I want this whole area quarantined now. Nobody is to leave this area at all.
Would you shut that baby up?
I know you heard that.
Make that child be
Find
quiet.
them. Find them now.
Shut that baby up.
All voices done by the Legal Redress Commission. None of this material is copywritten. Feel free to use it as you please. Pretty good, wasn't it?
Me. Me. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies and gents, we are here to bring some information to you. Got two things to talk to you about, not just one, two things. I think they're very important. So we're going to do two separate videos. Don't want to put them all in the same video because I think you didn't put it in the title. And because you didn't put it in the title, I didn't know it was there, so I didn't watch the whole thing. When you said, ladies and gentlemen, I stopped watching because I figured that was the whole video. So we're going to do two videos, okay? Got Teddy Pendergrass in the background. For some of you who understand Teddy Pendergrass and can go back like we can, Teddy's going to be in the background only for a moment. Then we're going to add a couple of other artists, and we're going to mix it up a little bit more, like we did before. Now, Weez, and I said, Weez got something we want to talk to y'all about. I said talks with an S. We're going to let my Microsoft Office, I got two versions of Office on here. We got 2010, three different versions. 2007, 2010, and 2013. We're going to use 2010. So we're going to let that pull up. And no, we're not going to go to there. Let's see which one we're going to go to on here. Now, this doesn't pull up like that one. So we're going to tell you about a little bit of 1-2 punch. We have the Declaration of Executorship that we just redid. We're calling it an Act of State Declaration. But we're going to change that. So it's going to have another title on the website, and we're going to use the title of the actual document, Declaration of Providence, Decree of Entitlements. And we want to put another word here, pronouncements. Pronouncement. My speech recognition ain't working. Let's try it one more again. Look at that, it was working. Lord, I'm just crying on the inside. Facing a world without your love. All caps that. Now it's not working. Give me a second. Let's get rid of all of this. Doing too much at one time. All caps that. I can't live. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have some spell checks. Okay, I've already corrected that one. Might as well do the spell check now. Let it see if it can catch up to us. And then while we're doing the spell check, yeah, December was one of the ones we had to change. That is an add to the dictionary thing. No, we can leave that capital, so we can ignore that. We can change that. We can ignore your fragmentation. We're going to do common hyphen law, so we can change that. Reference. Baylor is an actual word, so XREL is an actual word. Okay. Let's change that. Let's change that. Sorry, people, that I got to do this with you on the telephone, but we're going to let you understand that we're going to get to this. And we're going to give you... Resume. You know, let's do that. Let's do both. Color and color of law. Man, don't know why I didn't think of that in the first place. Thank you, Microsoft Speech Correction. Alright, next. Yeah, we can add... it asked me to add color. Okay. Apostille. Definitely gonna add that to the dictionary. De facto, add that to the dictionary. Next sentence, add that to the dictionary. Anytime we gonna break y'all up, cause y'all ain't supposed to be together, and we gonna change me. Nah, we gonna go back. We gotta undo, and we gonna go next sentence, next sentence. Gotta go back again. Okay, we changed that. We gonna ignore that. Now, y'all trying to figure out what you doing. Why you sitting up there doing this now? Why didn't you do this before? Because I ain't got the time to be doing all this. Y'all get me? Let's see. I gotta see what that talks about. Revoke, rescinded. As a direct result, canceled. Okay. Let's see if that will do it. Nope, need an E there. So, let's see. Yeah, let's see what happens. That's what I want. And next sentence. Next sentence. Next sentence. Okay. Hey, it's all done. Not completely, because there are some other things we've changed, but this video is just to let you guys go through. I wanted to get rid of all the spell check correction things. Okay. We have the word befriend. I like the tense it was in, but we're going to put it in past tense. So let's go over this document and let's tell you what this document does. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this title, we're going to copy, then we're going to get rid of this. Yes, we're going to save. And then as soon as we finish, we're going to get done. Give me un momento. Okay, that's the new title of the document. So now I can open it up because I needed that title. I didn't want to do a save as because I still would have had to go back and change the title, and I needed to have the correct title. Declaration of Providence and Decree of Entitlement. See, the first thing, because they call you a nation, a state, well, every state must have a declaration. Now, if you are supposedly a king or a queen on your land, then you do decrees. You don't do statements. So you're doing a decree of entitlement. Who gets to say what you're entitled to? You do. You say, I'm entitled to this, or I'm entitled to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who this is. Let's find out who this is so we can give them credit for being in my ear like that. Rufus Thomas. And he's singing Do the Funky Chicken. Y'all know that song, because I know that song. Now, got a whole bunch of different people here right now, so y'all just gonna sit back and hopefully some of it will draw back some memories. All right.
Where'd you get the number from? The PINOL number. What does that stand for?
Pimpin' ain't easy. That's what it stands for. Look, the number below you correct. You create. The number below you create. The number below. What number below?
What number? The number below 1?
This number right here. You create that.
Really? Why would I do that?
I don't know. When you keep bumping your head against the wall, ask yourself, why am I bumping my head against the wall? And then whatever the answer is, that's why you're going to change that number and create your own. Okay? Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have time for certain questions. So let's make it abundantly clear to everyone. No more questions on my email. I'm working on way too many things and you're distracting me, and I'm not going to permit it. As a matter of fact, let me let you know how much of my foot I'm putting down. No more questions. I will give you one warning. Those of you who haven't watched the video, I will give you one warning by email. Any more questions and I will block you from asking me questions. Stop it. I am not your parent. You don't get the...
Are we there yet? 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 Why is the sky blue? Where do babies come from? How come 1 + 1 = 11? And why do 2 people come together to make babies? Why?
Look, I don't have time for your questions. I don't have time for your questions. I heard that there was comments out there that man doesn't like answering questions. No. Yeah, you're right. I don't like answering questions. So if you want to see how much I like and how much I don't like, keep asking me questions. No, go ahead. Do it if you... Go ahead. Just try it. Okay, let's get back to the document, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I am working on way too many things, and some of you are becoming a very big distraction. I never said that I would handle any of your legal matters for you. You don't ever hear me telling you that. So, we have formulated our commission. As a matter of fact, I like this commission extremely a lot. I like the energy. I like the commitment. And you know what I like most of all? That everybody has already expressed what their agenda is. And I've expressed to them that the main issue is that we help people. That's our main issue. That's our main goal.
Well, if you don't answer questions, how you helping people?
By telling them they can kiss my... You see what I'm saying? So you don't get to tell us how we can help people. We tell you how we're going to help people. And if you don't get that, then turn the video off right now and stop watching. Stop listening to me. Stop coming to the site, because you're not welcomed here. We're only here to help people who understand what we're here to do. And if you don't understand, then you need to go someplace else and spend those legal tenders out of your pockets. Yeah, I said tenders. Like chicken tenders? Legal tenders. You go ahead and just go get your chicken McTenders and go ahead and keep spending them. Just giving them away to these individuals who say they can help you. Because there are a lot of groups out there that claim they can help people. I have no confidence or faith. If somebody tells you that they can repair your credit, and this is something they do all the time, and they want to charge you more than $1,500 to do it, then you're getting ripped off. I'll tell it to you like it is. Repairing credit is not hard. It's consuming. You can do it yourself. I've done videos showing you how. So the next video, we're going to be talking about exactly that. So stay tuned. All right, let's get back to this document. Declaration. If you're a nation, you have to have a declaration. If you're a king, you have to give decrees. Everything you do should be an affidavit. Anything you do on a legal record, do it as an affidavit. Pronouncement. You don't give statements, you give pronouncements. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. The royal king of the realm has just announced that he will be raising taxes on everyone by a sum of 100%. So let it be read, so let it be said, so let it be done. We give pronouncements. Declaration.
Well, honey, I do declare. Oh, no, 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 savoir faire.
We give declarations.
Like the Declaration of Independence?
Absolutely. Decrees.
From now on, anyone crossing the street between the hours of 12:01 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. will incur the penalty of death.
That's a decree. And then we do announcements.
Gather up, folks. We got an announcement. No, gather up. Okay, come on. Silence, silence. It's an announcement.
Okay. What's your announcement?
We're now letting everybody know that this document we're acknowledging. We're putting this on the public record. Here you go. It's acknowledged. Take it. It's a matter of law now.
Okay, that's what you're doing. So, declaration, understand, providence, decree, entitlement, affidavit, pronouncements, declaration, decree, and an acknowledgement.
Well, what else is you? I see something different at the top. What do you see at the top? What do I see at the top? What do you see at the top? No, my question, what do you see at the top? Well, let's go to the top. Let's go to the top.
Oh, baby,
let's go to the top.
Credit to the Brett Jones estate. You want to change that on yours. It's called the header. Trust and credit the same to the United States Treasury.
Without recourse, of course.
Of course. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't ask me why I do that. Go back and watch the videos. I ain't got time. But go ahead and try me, those of you who think you can.
Appearing and personally present before me, the undersigned notary, on this 14th day of December 2012, Brett Ben Isaac. Brett Ben Isaac? Why, you thought you were Brett son of Isaac?
That's right, we're doing Ben from now on.
Well, Ben is your middle name?
If they want it to be my middle name, it will be the middle one. Of the family of Jones, of the town of Agueda, New Mexico, of the household of Jones, and befriended of the same, or any variation thereof, is always to be referred to as the administrator. The administrator, governor, grantor, executor, director, sole beneficiary, sole shareholder, chief executive officer, hereinafter and heretofore referred to as grantor.
Well, you just said administrator and you said grantor.
That's right, because you're administrating an account and you are the grantor giving permission for this and that. A credible, living, self-aware, sentient man known to me by verification. A credible, living, self-aware, sentient man who duly attests and affirms on his affirmation and acknowledgement and deposes and declares. Well, guess what? I did not know that this repeated, so we're going to get rid of this. Okay? We already have a credible, living, sentient man. Where is that at? I read it already. No, did I read it twice? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Whew. Okay, there it is, credible living. Okay, that is twice, so, okay. I'm losing my mind. Didn't have one in the first place, but what I did have, I lost it already. Who duly attests and affirms by his affirmation and acknowledgement, deposes and declares that I am declaring this peace treaty that I am a peaceful inhabitant, non-combative, non-aggressive inheritor of the land, the chief administrator, governor, and grantor. That I am formally announcing the grantor's assertion of entitlements of chief executorship. The grantor administrator is not now, nor has ever been, an artificial entity, i.e. collective entity. And overseeing the estate will never constitute such a labeling and or application. Indigenous inhabitant, real man on the land and inheritor of the land, commonly known as North America. This document is to serve as a qualified written request, statement, lawful notice, and warning, and this is presented and for the public record establishing a court of record. Reference to secured rights and or public laws listed below, as well as common law. Declaration will expire July 7th, 7777. Yeah, that means roughly 5,000, 680 some years from now, unless renewed by the grantor verbally. Now, this should be, is for the benefit of the fiduciaries as well as trustees. Comma, and shall not be binding on the grantor / administrator. All caps that. Bold that. Okay, voice recognition, ladies and gentlemen. It works very well for me. It keeps me from having to type and focus on so many other things at one time. To be known as a recording and acceptance and affidavit. A recording of acceptance shouldn't be an. So that's my fault. Let's go. Recording of acceptance and affidavit, special acknowledgement decree, land patent and living will, special deposit, bailment bond, 180 million. That is just something I put there because everything I place on the public record is a special deposit, and I put a value to it. That's what I get to do. What we should be doing is this right here. Okay, but we have to separate these two. But your bars moved for your S. No, they didn't. They're right there. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay. Now, we want it to be known that the grantor, governor, executive chief officer, any reference hereinafter at present or heretofore to the title Brett Jones or any variation in any format or in any rendering is always to refer to the estate, and when used by the administrator in the sentient, self-aware context, it is to be acknowledged by any and all as referring to the administrator / bailor, who represents the title always in special appearance, proper person ex rel, and never in place of the title. The title at no time represents the sentient man, but the sentient man represents the title, hereinafter and heretofore referred to as the grantor of any trust, legal name, state, foreign or otherwise, and or corporation of the legal person known by, referred to, or rendered as Brett Jones without the two T's, or any variation thereof, and not a collective entity, but the executor of the deceased artificial entity. I declare and presume. You can't presume. When you presume, you make a P out of you and me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's find out what we're going to presume. I declare and presume that I am a party to the United States of North America Constitution, 1789. And who is it that can tell me that I'm not? Well, the courts say you're not a party to it. They say it all day long. but I am declaring it by way of affidavit. Now they got to rebut my affidavit and my presumption because I'm declaring it on the public record. I declare and presume that I am not a party to any of the acts of the United States Congress. I declare and presume that I am not a party or subject to any laws, codes, acts, statutes, and or articles issued by the many legislators and congressional bodies, as I am a non-citizen national Native American, born a real man. That's right, I was not born a child, I was not born a baby, I was not born an infant, I was born a real man. And there is nobody on this planet who can disprove that. It's supposed to be not and love, but and of competent age. Voice recognition. Competent age and completely equipped to handle my own affairs. Some of you will get that, competent and completely equipped. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I declare and presume that I have not been lost at sea, that I am not at this present time lost at sea, and that I shall never be construed, considered, or conjured to be lost at sea. I further declare and presume that I am responsible for my own actions, and so long as I do not infringe on the will of another, I am to be left alone and to remain at peace. I shall not consent and will never consent to servitude, voluntary or otherwise. Means that you'll never consent to being held as surety for anyone or being a slave to anyone. I shall never and will never and am not to ever be construed, considered, and or believed to be the property of any man and or corporation. I am not and shall not be a party to any contract, trust, agreement, organization, argument, presentment that I did not give my full-fledged, willing consent. In writing, with full disclosure, prior to the written notice. Okay? I do hereby assume my rightful role as grantor over my trust, estate, corporation, fiction, land, policy, act, deed, law, statute, ordinance, code associated with my title, lawful / legal name, lawful / legal fiction, lawful / legal corporation, legal / lawful assets. I do not consent now, nor in the future, nor previously to any creation of a man and or fiction to having authority and or acting as grantor on my behalf at any time or in any manner henceforth, heretofore, forthwith. This declaration reclaims what is rightful and due to the grantor, as well as extinguishes any presumption that the grantor has been, is, or was absent, having absentee status, abandonment of any kind or nature, or has been, or is, or was deceased. I do hereby declare that all proceeds associated with my estate, whether being traded currently in the past, are my properties, and or to be forfeited. See, this is supposed to be not or, but are. A-R-E, not O-R. A-R-E. And are to be forfeited and delivered immediately to my person forthwith. This shall include all benefits without surrendering and or relinquishing any entitlements. And is to be without the reestablishment of any contract and or agreement, that my full faith and credit as a direct result of not having access to a valuable means of exchange. That's viable. That's the correct word. Viable means of exchange shall be at a rate of 480 billion, as is valued at the date of March 16th, 1967, the date of conception, that all of the interest at a rate of 14% per day shall be calculated and surrendered. It's supposed to be as, not asked, as credit to the grantor for immediate access and or use. That's basically,
Well, when you sign the Social Security, you sign an adhesion contract, because there's an adhesion contract, and they lock you into this, that.
that paragraph is supposed to extinguish that stupidity. Further, there is no law that allows a human, self-aware or not, to exercise authority over another human, self-aware or not. And as I, the grantor, make the ultimate presumption that Brett Ben Isaac of the family of Jones will never submit to any jurisdiction at any time and or any situation, that my human rights are never to be trampled on. And for each instance, as well as offense against my secured right, a penalty and fee assessment of $20,000 will be due at the time of such offenses or offense. Because Brett Ben Isaac of the family of Jones of the town of Biggin, New Mexico, the household of Jones, and befriended of the same, the governor, grantor, executor, director, beneficiary, sole shareholder, chief executive officer, hereinafter and heretofore referred to as the grantor of any trust name, legal name, state, fiction, otherwise, or corporation or legal person known by, referred to, or rendered as Brett Jones, or any variation thereof. A credible, living, self-aware man, the grantor, am the administrator, got two apostrophes, commas, don't belong there. Got to get rid of the also. Administrator, declare and affirm total acceptance of the secured United States Constitution backed and acknowledged rights of the legal person. See, the constitutionally backed and acknowledged rights of the legal person. United States Supreme Court said corporations and fictions are persons. Okay, so your legal name has rights and all protections associated with such rights, and assesses the same penalty of a fee of $20,000 for the violation of such rights, each instance and or incident. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of something, because okay, that's going to shorten it a lot, because that didn't need to be there. We can get rid of this too, because we don't need all of that. Brett Ben Isaac of the family of Jones welcomes any claim to the contrary, and any and all unsubstantiated claims will be assessed at a $1 million fee for each and every instance and or occurrence. The grantor presumes that corporations and courts operate under presumption of law. The grantor presumes that law derives from the divine, and then to the people, who delegate their wishes to Congress for recordation. In other words, Congress doesn't make the laws. The people make the laws. That's the way it was supposed to be. They only added all that junk in after they did the Bill of Rights. But Congress doesn't make the laws. The people make the laws. The people tell Congress what they want them to do. Congress doesn't tell people, hey, you can't do this and you can't do that. The people get to dictate. As long as you don't harm another human, as long as you don't infringe upon someone else's rights, another living creature's rights, then you are free to do that according to man's system of understanding of laws and what one gets to do and doesn't get to do. Okay, are you going to continue? Yes, I is. We're right here, y'all. The grantor presumes that there is no real medium of exchange, and currency is manipulated to control others and therefore violates the laws of humanity. The grantor presumes that statutory law and or its authority do not apply to the grantor. The grantor presumes that the rules of any non-common law tribunal do not apply to the grantor. The grantor presumes that the grantor is not bound by any so-called order of any non-common law tribunal, meaning the courts, how they are set up. Their rules are for them, not for you. The grantor is not a public servant, any claim to the contrary must be proven by payroll records to include the grantor's alleged public servant title and sworn under the penalty of perjury and under full commercial liability. The grantor claims common law jurisdiction at every moment and all times. The grantor waives all compelled benefits of every type and kind, and hereby converts all benefits to entitlements by his will and decree. That's what he gets to do because he's the grantor. The grantor does not waive any rights of the legal person, legal name. The grantor does not surrender any common or human rights in any proceeding and in any manner or time. The grantor does not nor will ever waive time. The grantor does not and will not ever plead in courts of contract. The grantor presumes that the grantor is not bound by any so-called ruling order decision of any non-common law tribunal body, fiduciary, trustee, and or servant. Been sending back the orders from the courts at present? Not in English. Piece of junk, won't accept it. The grantor presumes that any and all public employees, school employees, or state employees, federal employees, or servants, officers of any corporation, or servants, officers of any corporations, can only maintain the role of public servant, public trustee, fiduciary. The grantor presumes that ministerial clerks, servants, being public trustees, fiduciaries, have no authority over the grantor and any other self-aware human being. The grantor, let's do for those of you who are not men, you can add the okay, but for right now we're referring to this man. The grantor presumes that all statutes, acts of Congress, codes, United States codes are in violation of the grantor's common and human rights and not applicable to the grantor. Formal act, and we just redid this. Decree. Give me a second. I have to pull up what we just redid, so I have to pause you. So hold on there, baby.
Time just seems to fly when you're not doing nothing of importance, huh? That's what I like to say.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we changed it to. Formal act and decree of independence by a foreign state, reaffirmation of charter, and renunciation of attempted expatriation from your non-national citizenship. Primary signature, certification, Convention de la Haye, the Convention de Hague, at The Hague, October 1961, October 5th. This was Geneva, Switzerland, The Hague, Geneva Convention. Okay, this doctrine of piercing the corporate veil with its instrumentality rule does and will serve notice, judicial, presidential, or otherwise, that all acting is supposed to be that are. Let's do this. Are acting as corporate officers, etc., whether be by color or color of law or color of official right, are acting or have acted without the usual immunities afforded in lawful civil and judicial proceedings. Yeah, we can leave judicial there. For the peace and safety of all corporate officers, etc., as well as myself, I have identified all my guaranteed absolute property, life, liberty, privacy, and the pursuit of happiness until such time as the present de facto private fiction corporate government can make the necessary changes to its structure to ensure the same. These identifications will list the international record, serial number, apostille number, as having been recognized, received, recorded, and issued by the de facto private fiction corporation government. As this number is the international registration, national authentication, and state certification of a public document of the United States of America, my nations and my citizenships, I don't like that. I don't like citizenships because a lot of people have disagreed with me on what the word citizen means. But a citizen is a servant, as well as identifications of all of my possessions. Each and every classification or confiscation or seizure of past or present of any kind of any of these guaranteed absolute private and public properties by any of the de facto private state corporate offices, etc., will result in damages of $10 million of the United States treaty states, nation states, species money, United States dollar, silver, gold, blocked, that being enumerated in Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1, as gold and silver coin, and in the Constitution of the United States of America, 1789, 1791 to date, to be multiplied by not only the damaging parties, but all those in concert and causes of action. Yeah, I can handle that paragraph for now. This declaration is made absolute by my supreme will. A former notice which is contained in the enclosed apostille, and pursuant to 15 Stat Chapter 249, page 225, 1868, shall be made final, adopted, and accepted by the doctrine of estoppel, by acquiescence, law of record, apostille, moral obligation, preemptory mandamus, and the divine law. 3080 U.S. at 163. The Bible is the basis for all laws to be applied nationally, or upon the passing of a customary and reasonable time of 10 days, consecutive calendar from receipt of the service, guaranteed U.S. mail. They say registered, but we're telling you, if you put a stamp and a certification slip, it now becomes registered mail in such a unique way. And there is a chain of custody because it tells you exactly where the mail went when you search online. Like right now, I've been waiting for some electric motors for my automobile, and they sent it out last Thursday. It shows it's still in Denver. Shouldn't be in Denver. Not this long. Should have been here already. This is a whole 9 days later, but it's not here. All right, let's continue, shall we? It will be the President's absolute ministerial duty to identify, restore, and correct any and all errors, injuries, wrongs, and damages at any time applied and or attached to me, myself, pursuant to congressional demand within 15 Stat Chapter 249. Dates from the beginning plus 6 days. Announcement of diplomatic arrival 4026 BCE, the time when we have the first indications of man in written form, and continuing indefinitely. Let me make sure I don't go too far. Okay, it took me to the top. I wasn't trying to go to the top. Okay, keep rising to the top. Dougie Fresh. Okay. The grantor does not consent to the authority of any corporation, quasi-judicial or otherwise, as presenter is not subject to any such jurisdiction, and any contract entered into knowingly or otherwise is hereby rescinded, revoked, terminated, canceled as a direct result of fiduciary breach, failure to disclose a violation of secured rights. In violation of secured rights. Take the value and send it to the new fiduciary. And this is supposed to be, comma. The new fiduciary appointed is the comptroller of the currency. You are commanded to take and transfer this account to this new fiduciary with a copy of any and all presentments, correspondence, and the value in assets associated with the trust account agreement. The former agreement has been dissolved. This current agreement is now in force and is to stand forever. Instructing them to comply with the new appointed position as fiduciary in relation to this trust and matter, and what the duties, directives, commands are as are contained herein and outlined herein. The aforementioned is true and correct, signed without the United States under reservation of all rights, without recourse and over the laws of the United States, presented by the administrator for the administrating of the affairs of Brett Jones Estate /Trust. Whew. I hereby certify that this presentment in its entirety to be true and correct, complete and not misleading, and one typographical error and or sentence shall not invalidate any other section or portion of this presentment. The original of the declaration and decree of standing and identity containing a primary signature as sealed below and shall constitute a permanent public record. This is for the purpose of signature and or autograph certification only for foreign use, i.e. United States of America, of the U.S. document. The International Hague Convention on Private International Law, dated 5 October 1961, has acknowledged as well as accepted this presentment in advance as at convention. It's supposed to be that. As that convention abolished any requirement of legislation for foreign public documents and or presentations. On October 5th, 1981, in the United States, no, not in the United States, who want to put the United States became a signatory to this convention, and this procedure acknowledged presentments such as convention and this procedure. Let's do this. We're going to do and is acknowledged by this presentment acknowledged by this presentment and the matters herein contained. I'd rather do contained herein. Okay, and then the jurat section. State of, acknowledged before me on this December, we'll leave it 2012 for now. Sentient man, autograph, notary signature. If you want, you can add 3 other signatures for 3 other live human beings. Then you're going to add the apostille number when you get the document apostille. Okay? They're trying to say that they don't like it when you put your picture here. I'm going to say put your picture there. There's no law against that. You won't find a single law against that. Now, let's talk about this now because it's necessary. Some of you are having problems with the, what's that stupid person called? The Secretary of State's office and the county clerk's office. They're telling you that your documents cannot be filed there, but they're not giving you a reason. So tell them you want the reason in writing. You want them to be specific in their laws, and if they are not specific, that you will file suit against them, that you are giving them notice. And I'd actually tell you to put the notice in writing, that you are going to give them notice telling them of your intent to sue for blocking your access to your government. It's a First Amendment right to petition the government for redress, and that access cannot be violated because it violates the Sixth Amendment, access to the courts, which includes the judicial, administrative, and legislative, and what's the other one? See, I'm too tired right now to think of all the 3 different stupid branches of this so-called government. Oh, executive. Okay, so you have access to all of them, and that access cannot be blocked. And nobody's been arguing the fact that their access to their government is blocked when the so-called county recorder sits up there and refuses to file a document or record a document. If it deals with your property, you have the right to record it on a public record. Now, if you don't want to give notices of intent to sue, go to the district court. Take the document from the website that we have entitled the Dissolution of Trust document. That dissolution of trust is set up like a court case. All you got to do is put in your name, and I think the United States of North America Corporation is already in the document. You go down to district court, fill out the document with your information, go down to district court, attach this as an attachment, and you just file it into the case. It's now public record. Do you understand? That's all you're trying to do. But most people,
I want an apostille because that's the Geneva Convention.
the public record is what the Geneva Convention was talking about. Declarations of all states. And the Judiciary Act of, what is that? Sovereign Immunities Act, excuse me. Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act is the one that labels you as a state. I had somebody who called me, and this person told me that he really had the information. I was going to help all of you out. Told me that the courts have sent him a letter telling him he was not welcome in their courts anymore because of what he had done. He told me, he says, hey, it starts with the Buck Act. And just give me a call and I'll give you the rest of the information. I've called him twice. Called him 3 times. Left my number. Never called me back. Oh well. This is not something where I'm going to beg anybody to help me help you. This is, we're going to do the best we can to help you. But for all of you, if I haven't already said it in a video, then you're just going to have to wait until I say it. Do not call me asking me or email me asking me questions about your specific issue. I have one guy who I've known longer than I've known most of you. But because he had a student loan issue, and all he wanted me to do was help him with that student loan and his issues, and we literally lost contact, he got mad at me because I left him holding the bag, because I didn't walk him through the whole process, even though I told him how to handle the whole process. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not your friend. I am not here for you to pimp, prod, beg, ask for information every single time I communicate with you. That's not going to happen. And do not pretend to have a conversation with me about something general and then start asking questions about your own issues. That is selfish. That is extremely selfish. Not only do I read into it, but it lets me know where your heart is. And if you only have that selfishness in your heart, then you're not going to get very far with me. Okay, that is just me being...
Keeping it real, ain't it, baby?
That's right, I'm keeping it real. South side! I'm sorry. It's supposed to be west side. Nope. North side. Nope. East side. Sorry. That's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping it real. Because I love it when keeping it real goes wrong. Sorry. Dave Chappelle.
What? Where is Dave Chappelle? I missed that boy. Dave, where you at? Dave!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this video. We're going to let our friend Marvin Gaye take us on out, because he came here to party. All right, this document, ladies and gentlemen, the one that I just did, will be up on the net. I got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm hoping by Sunday. I was going to put it up today, but it will take me too long. So my hope is by Sunday. It might be up today. So it will be, let me go ahead and close the document, save everything, because you got to save it or to have the mistakes that we didn't unmistake.
Are you telling me it was an unmistake?
No, I'm telling you it was a mistake. And we're going to label this document. We're going to start with 00001 hyphen AA. Oh, we got to do capital AA. Okay? So this document is 00001 AA. Okay, that's 5 zeros and a 1. AA. Alright, got to do it that way. That keeps it at the top of the list. Okay? So it'll be at the top of the list. The document will be up today. I said by Sunday, but it will be up today in a couple of minutes, and by the time you watch this video, the document will already be up online. We've gone over the whole document, so do not email me, do not Skype me, do not go into YouTube leaving comments, because you're not going to get any answers. I don't have time. Okay? I'm exhausted as it is, so I got one more video to do, and I'm not going to be able to do it tonight, so I'll save it for tomorrow morning. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good day, have a good life, have a good night, but understand something. We have not brought you junk. We brought you valuable and viable information for the past 2 years. And as long as we can, we'll continue to try to bring you that very same information. Good night, all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing something revolutionary, something unusual, something that they said it couldn't be done. But look at what we have done. We have done it. We have changed the system, and we will continue to effect change. Why don't you jump on board and follow us as we continue to change the system?